What's going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite, and today we're going to be talking about a wild new rumor about Advanced Warfare 2, what this means for the future of COD 2.0, and even more. Definitely stay tuned. But before we jump into that, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, because we're very close to 100,000 subscribers here on the main channel. Really appreciate it. Also drop a like and turn notifications on to stay up to date with everything going on in Modern Warfare 2, Warzone 2, Warzone Mobile, and any other future Call of Duty as well. Now, I woke up this morning to a fairly surprising tweet from Charlie Intel, which says, and I quote, "Lots of rumors overnight, be careful what you believe." Now, one of the rumors is about Modern Warfare 2, which I am going to make a separate video about since it is worth its own discussion separate from what we're going to be talking about here in this video. And the other rumor is regarding something that I didn't think we were going to be talking about for quite some time, but then an article dropped from the infamous Ralph's Valve, and we're going to talk about the legitimacy of this claim in a bit. Don't go anywhere, but the headline says, Sledgehammer is set to develop Advanced Warfare 2. What a claim. Sledgehammer Games aims to strip away from World War shooters and instead return to the battlegrounds of the future, ushering back in an era of advanced warfare on the now unified MWII engine. Leading up to the release of Vanguard, Sledgehammer's narrative team originally had the desire to further explore that world and make several sequels involving Vanguard's cast of characters. However, with Vanguard falling short of expectations, Sledgehammer was back at square one, tasked with pitching a new idea, entrusted with having something conceptually ready for executives to give the go-ahead. Sledgehammer brought to the table the topic of advanced warfare, a departure from the contemporary success of boots on the ground combat, back to a more fast-paced sci-fi shooter focused back on advanced warfare's frenzied sense of movement. Given the reception Infinite Warfare received back in 2016, it might make some franchise fans skeptical. So before we continue with the rest of the article, what I'll say about that is, look, you gotta take every rumor with a grain of salt regardless of who it comes from, but shall I remind you, earlier on during, I wanna say 2021, and even earlier this year in 2022, Ralph put out a lot of very specific details about Infinity Ward's next COD, Modern Warfare 2, and the details were so specific to the point where I'm like, okay, how could this possibly be false? What can this person be gaining from this? And then little by little, a lot of the information started getting proven correct, anything from teaser release dates, specific information about the game itself, the title, this, and that. And then it was, I want to say, maybe right around the time they revealed the logo for Modern Warfare 2, Ralph continued putting out claims about the game that ended up getting debunked. A lot of things that quickly just got debunked, whether it was from official marketing, whether it was from us playing the beta and realizing that something just wasn't true, and the list goes on. I'm not going to go over a full list, I've done that before, but all of a sudden he just said, hey, you know, a lot of things are being proven incorrect, I don't want to mislead anybody, and he decided to leave the community. And I'm like, okay, I can respect that. Who knows what this person was like in real life, right? Was he just a LARP? Was he somebody who did have legit information from a source? That source now left the studio, or who knows what it was. Could even be an industry plan. But then a little while after that, about 2 weeks after his departure, he comes back claiming he wants to continue reporting on leaks and so on and so forth. So I'm like, okay, that is strange. I mean, could he just have not left the internet for more than 2 weeks without realizing, hey, I just love the clout, I love the reputation? It was weird. But then, as we go on with the article here, he then says, between the three mainline developers, they seem to have developed and separated into their own niches with setting. As Warzone continues to age, so do strategies for bringing on fresh experiences to the playground, which could include their own futuristic twist on the Battle Royale formula. Sledgehammer's sequel to Advanced Warfare has been slated to release in 2025, only a year after Treyarch's next premium title. So, the first thing I'll say is, look, I do get Activision maybe wanting to go down with the direction, which is, okay, let's have Treyarch cover the past with the whole Black Ops, Cold War, Vietnam, Gulf War type of vibe. Then let's have Infinity Ward cover the present with Modern Warfare, literally. And then let's have Sledgehammer have their own time period, which is the future, which they pretty much nailed correctly with Advanced Warfare. And it's still a fairly well-received game to this day. It's even more well-received now than it ever was in 2015. I'll say that, or 2014, excuse me. So I do get that approach. That's something that I've been thinking about on recent podcasts where I'm like, look, I think that's Sledgehammer's best bet. I don't think they'd win trust of the community back from doing another World War shooter. Obviously not. I don't think they could even do a modern shooter. I think it's best that they do something completely out there, which is different from what Sledgehammer and Infinity Ward are doing. But if you guys are like, wait a second, only a year after Treyarch's next premium title is Sledgehammer's next game, does that mean the next Black Ops game won't have 2 years of support like Modern Warfare 2 is reportedly supposed to get? That's a great question. So the first thing I'll say is I'm not even convinced as of right now that we're getting a second year of Modern Warfare 2 content. I feel like that would have been something that they would have confirmed already just to kind of build more hype. But to play devil's advocate, I don't want to be a fence-sitter on this topic because I'm really not sure what the best approach is here. But to play devil's advocate, I'll say this. Maybe it's best to save that confirmation for later in the year so that once people warm up to Modern Warfare 2 a lot more, they'll be a little bit different when it comes to their reaction to no Call of Duty in 2023, and instead Modern Warfare 2 is getting more DLC. Maybe if they announce that right now, and the game's already being received pretty mixed, if I had to be honest with you. I think the game has been received fairly well. I mean, the sales look good, at least from my understanding, but I think right now the community reception is still pretty out there because of lack of classic minimap and Dead Silence and SBMM and so on and so forth. So maybe saying right now, hey, this is going to be the game for 2 years isn't the right approach. I'm not an expert, I'm not a marketer, I'm not an executive to where I can really make these choices, but that's just my interpretation right now. But look, if Modern Warfare 2 gets a second year of support and that's proven to be successful, then I see no reason why the next Black Ops game shouldn't also get that treatment. It's also ironic because Treyarch games have been known in recent years to actually get second years of support, but nothing on the grand scale to the point where there isn't a new COD also released during that second year. I think Black Ops 3 definitely set the foundation for that. Black Ops 4 was going to do it, but didn't. Cold War had a second year of support, even though it could have been a lot bigger. Treyarch has already laid the groundwork for what that could look like, and it'd be great to see that on a grand scale with a lot of budget and also with no new COD releasing to kind of take the spotlight from that second year of support. So I'm all for seeing that, but let's see, right? Maybe right now the plan is to do a second year of Modern Warfare 2, but then if that plan changes, that'll also impact the change to see Treyarch getting a second year of DLC instead of Sledgehammer coming out with the game in 2025. Now, here's another possibility, which I don't think you guys probably thought about that much, and it's the possibility that we do get second years of support for Modern Warfare 2 and the next Black Ops game, but that doesn't mean a new COD can't also release that year. Just look at 2016, for example. Black Ops 3 got a full second year of support. Even though it wasn't marketed that heavy, we still got new weapons, we got little events, we got Zombies Chronicles 2. I mean, hell, year 3 even brought in some new multiplayer experiences, whether it was playlist, whether it was dynamic, weather type of variants of some maps. We got a lot of support in BO3 post-launch, I think even more than any other COD has gotten, but that didn't mean new CODs couldn't have released during those time periods. We had Infinite Warfare, which came out during year 2, and World War II, which came out during year 3 of Black Ops 3. So MWII year 2 could still happen. Maybe a new COD also drops in 2023, who knows? And then for the next Black Ops game, maybe it does get a second year of support in 2025, but then that year we also get another COD game. That could even be a smarter approach if you think about it, right? Because what if, right, we get an Advanced Warfare 2 in 2025 and it isn't received well, or it gets bashed just as much if not more than the original Advanced Warfare, then maybe Activision's idea is, okay, let's still update that, but we'd be able to kind of pull the plug on support for that game similar to Vanguard if Black Ops 2024 is still getting support that year. There will still be something on the back end that you're releasing if people don't like the next Advanced Warfare. So that might be a better approach if they have things kind of lined up on deck as a safety net to still get updates if the newer COD isn't being received all that great. But then here's where things get spicy. Charlie Intel then puts out a follow-up tweet saying, I have heard that there is no Advanced Warfare 2 currently in development at Sledgehammer Games, despite the rumors today. Not fully clear yet what Sledgehammer Games is working on. And it's unclear when they're even returning to the COD franchise either. I mean, clearly Vanguard was not Sledgehammer's focus after maybe season 1. We were all fully aware of that. Not only did it look like they got budget cuts, but it looked like they just didn't care. I mean, they barely tweeted at all this past year, and if anything, the Vanguard life cycle wasn't really even about Vanguard, it was more about Warzone, which Raven and other dev studios are a lead on, not Sledgehammer. So it's been a very strange year. I mean, even Prestigious Key, fellow COD partner, also posted a video saying that Vanguard's life cycle was boring. And that's the thing, with season 1 and before that, the game looked promising. But I could definitely tell you guys, from my understanding after playing COD for 10 plus years, Sledgehammer's focus was absolutely not on Vanguard. It was on something else, and it's unclear when we're gonna see that other project that they've probably been working on. But then we even have a fellow Call of Duty developer that responded to this rumor. It's a now deleted tweet, but this is an artist that works on the Call of Duty franchise. And he put out this clip clown emoji talking about how people are believing 2025 Call of Duty rumors. I mean, here's the thing, right? We don't know how different the franchise is going to look come 2 years from now. I mean, first of all, the Microsoft acquisition hasn't even gone through yet and is nowhere near going through based on recent reports, which I'm going to be talking more about in a separate video probably tonight or another day. So whenever that goes through, that might change trajectory completely for Call of Duty, or it might not, but we're nowhere even near that stage. We're currently in 2022. So much could change from now to 2025 that it's not even funny, to the point where even if Ralph has been proven correct time and time again and has never been wrong, it's still worth taking this rumor with a grain of salt because, look, that's so far away, and you guys know how quickly things change for the COD franchise. Within a matter of months, they could be working on a completely different game that we just don't know about. I mean, that's how fast Call of Duty development works, and that's the way it's always been over the last decade and a half. Now, I know this could be a stretch, don't hate on me too much in the comments for this one, but possibly, and I mean possibly, the EX1 laser rifle that got added to Vanguard may have been some type of hint as to what direction Sledgehammer is taking Call of Duty in, at least in their future. It might mean something. I know it might just be one of those scenarios where, hey, Vanguard wasn't received well, so look at Season 5. They added in all types of content from a bunch of different games, which didn't really make sense narratively, but gameplay-wise was fun to see. I mean, if you look at Advanced Warfare many, many years ago, that game received quite a few World War II era weapons. I want to say deeper into the game's life cycle, might have been before the end of that game's cycle, might have even been somewhat during like a second year of support, even though Advanced Warfare didn't really get a year or two, but it might have received a couple of extra weapons when Black Ops 3 was already out. I could be mistaken on that one, but that also seemed to have served as a hint that they were going to be working on a World War II game shortly after. Now, another thing to add to this is that I think it would be such a great idea, as I've said on the podcast before, to see a Warzone 2.0 experience, a map of sorts that features jetpacks. I mean, Blackout already showed us what that looks like for the COD series. The Heavy Metal Heroes playlist for Blackout featured jetpacks, Black Ops 3 like gameplay in Battle Royale, and it was great. But the thing is, right, that was Black Ops 3 jetpack movement in Blackout. Advanced Warfare has a completely different set of mechanics and types of movement with jetpacks that weren't in Black Ops 3. So it'd be cool to see a Warzone 2 map built with that ecosystem in mind, and I would love to see that being differentiated from, let's say, the Modern Warfare 2 Warzone map Al Mazrah, or the future Treyarch Black Ops Warzone 2 experience, which could be something else. I would love to see that maybe added into Warzone 2 in the future, and then maybe only have the Advanced Warfare 2 set of weapons playable on that map or something, or maybe have all weapons playable on that map, but make sure that that map is people that like jetpacks, and then you could still have Al Mazrah or the Treyarch Black Ops map playable alongside that if that isn't your cup of tea. But I know even Charlie Intel, Doug from on Warzone have reiterated that Infinity Ward's Pat Kelly has said that there are no plans right now to go back to jetpack movement, but he's at Infinity Ward. He also is an executive at Activision, but I don't know if that really applies to Sledgehammer or just Infinity Ward. Who knows what that statement really means, but only the future will tell if they have any plans to ever go back to jetpack Call of Duty experiences. But last and definitely not least, Exo Zombies. I know you guys are probably thinking, well, what does that mean for a possible third mode in the future? Well, look at Exo Survival, which you're seeing footage of right now in the background. That mode was received alright when it first came out. It was the only third mode available at launch, and right away when that came out, I knew, I'm like, look, this can't possibly get that many updates that would kind of win the community over on the same scale that a Zombies or an Extinction would. It was just too plain of a mode. It was basic survival, and I mean, maybe it was a callback to how Modern Warfare 3 had survival, which is a game that Sledgehammer also co-developed. Sure, it was cool, it was different seeing survival with jetpacks, but that gets old, right? I think even some developers have commented before that PvP, yeah, Call of Duty has that locked down, but PvE, if it's not zombies or aliens, that gets boring quickly when it's just AI. So I quickly knew something would have to be released or that game's third mode really wouldn't survive. And then what do you know? Exo Zombies got introduced during DLC 1 and got 3 more maps after that, leading up until map pack 4. So it got 4 Zombies maps, and the way I look at Exo Zombies is it was something fun to play in the meantime while waiting for Black Ops 3. It was something cool. Raven made it. It was just something that you could have fun with when playing with friends. The Easter eggs were pretty complex, the maps weren't all that great, but it was something and I appreciate it. It's zombies at the end of the day, and it's in the Call of Duty series, so be it. Now, if we get an Advanced Warfare 2 in 2025, does that mean Exo Zombies would also come back? I think it's worth exploring that avenue again, but let's have someone else develop it. Not that Treyarch did a bad job with their work on Vanguard, they just didn't have much time to do anything in Vanguard to the point where we got some pretty unfinished experiences, and I can't blame Treyarch for that one at all, especially considering their core team, their A team at Treyarch, didn't even work on ranked or zombies. It was like a B team or a C team, a skeleton crew even, that worked on all that from my understanding. So looking at Advanced Warfare 2, either Sledgehammer makes it themselves, similar to how they handled World War II zombies, hopefully on a much better scale than what that mode was, or they have other dev teams come in to help them, but let's make sure Treyarch isn't that dev team. I think they already have their hands full as it is. They have some other ambitious projects reportedly in the works. Let's not see their rep get ruined any further for a game that isn't even there. But that is about it. This has been dkdynamite. Leave our thoughts down below in the comment section. What are your thoughts on the wild new rumor about a possible Advanced Warfare 2, and what do you think it means for the future of COD 2.0? Really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everybody.